So I've covered the new King of the Hill a couple of times, and they got a new trailer, kind of showing a little more of the story, and it seems to be okay. Like Peggy and Hank, they nailed them, 100%. I love Peggy and Hank on everything about their characters. They're still the same. Hank is an unmovable kind of guy. He just has his ways of thinking and feeling, and I just love Hank so much. And so they're back in Ireland, and I'm surprised Bill's still alive. Get the way he was living his life. He's not a very healthy man. I'm surprised he isn't dead. It's great that he's still alive. But so Bobby's older. Bobby's a chef, but he's a sushi chef, which is fine. But the way that the series ended is when Bill had this whole thing. He had like a barbecue sauce and how to make barbecue, and it was like a family secret. And the whole episode is a great episode, but he was gonna sell it, but then he decided not to because it was against his family. You got to keep it in the family, so he taught Bobby. And I thought, oh, Bobby's gonna make this whole barbecue thing, like it's gonna be his thing. But now he's doing sushi, and it looks like he's doing like craft beers. But what happened to the barbecue thing? I don't know. I just feel like that was kind of like a slap in the face to Bill. Whatever. But I do like Bobby and Hank are now. They're both men. He's a man now, so he's drinking beer, and like how Hank is like, well, beer doesn't need to be craft and all that microbrewery stuff. He's just straight up Alamo. That's just what he drinks. And probably the best joke, full on 100% King of the Hill joke. They get Ubered somewhere, and the guy wants 5 stars, and of course, Hank's like, oh, I'm going to give you 4 stars. He's going to give you something to work towards, which is a callback to when they went to a Dallas training camp and they're rating the players. And Bobby says that I think he said it about Emmitt Smith or one of those. He's like, oh, I'll give him not a perfect score because it gives him something to rise to. A nice callback to an earlier joke in the original series. But then Hank's like, I think 5 should be rare because that's saying you're perfect, and no one's perfect. But in the world of Uber and things like that, you always want perfect stars. And back to the perfect joke, Peggy's like, oh, I don't want to brag, but I've been told my whole life that I'm a 5. That is so funny. That is Peggy in a nutshell, thinking in her mind that 5 is perfection, but 5 is like right down the middle. When someone calls you a 5, they're basically saying you're okay looking. But Peggy takes it as a compliment because nothing that ever comes Peggy's way could ever not be a compliment because everyone just loves me. I'm just a wonderful person. I love it. That is so King of the Hill. Absolutely love it. Other things, this whole John Redcorn, it's that Joseph's his son, but with Dale and the infidelity, but I do like how at the end of the original series they got back together. So Dale and Nancy kind of were having a good relationship, even when she stopped seeing John Redcorn. Are they going to retcon that? Not necessarily retcon it, but just go back on themselves. Ugh, I don't like it. I don't know. He should know his real dad, but at the same time, John Redcorn, you're a piece of crap. And he should not be rewarded for being a piece of crap. It just makes me feel a little icky. Also, another thing I think is inappropriate, and Bobby has this girlfriend who's a vegan, and of course, Hank is like, oh, just feed her grass. Fun, King of the Hill joke. But we don't get the context here, but he's like making out with her over the table, like at dinner with your parents. You don't do that to your parents. I don't think, even if your parents are more like open-minded about like relationships and stuff, you wouldn't do that because it's just inappropriate. But to do that in front of Hank and Peggy, who are very reserved, and when it comes to like physical affection, it's Bobby, don't be a pig, treat your woman like a woman, not like your sex doll. I didn't like it. It made me feel gross. But overall, I'm hopeful that this is good. Like it looks like it still has some of that King of the Hill magic. It's just some of the stuff might make me feel a little, I don't know. But I'll definitely give it a shot. I'll give it a chance because I actually own all the King of the Hill DVDs. Like when they were on you could buy them those little slim packs, so you get a whole season and it would fit on your shelf really nice. I will give it the more of a chance than I would other shows. So I'll give it like a 10 episodes before I give up on it if it's truly that bad. But I don't think it will be. But it comes out soon. So yeah, I'll definitely review the first couple episodes for sure. Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.